gentlemen, we back again.
Yeah, we're back at it.
Can you believe it? Episode 3.
It'd be a triple threat.
Wow. I can't even believe we made it this far.
The
man.
trilogy is complete.
That's right. We make the channel, do 3, and then just leave.
That's it. 10
Forever,
years. 10 years from now,
our voice is forever recorded in
Mhm.
the books of history.
Archaeologists of YouTube will find this. But will they accomplish what they achieved?
I mean, they
Yeah.
did a podcast.
3 episodes.
It wasn't particularly good or entertaining, but welcome back, everyone. We're glad to have you. This is the Ticket Counter.
The Ticket Counter.
I'm Tim, and this is my cousin.
I'm Anthony, the cousin.
I got to giggle today. Yeah. So today we are talking about Ready Player One, a novel, a book, I think, right?
Well, adapted from one, yes.
Okay.
2011, I believe. Yes.
Oh, that's when the book came out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with that. Was the book any good?
Well, it's always hard for me to talk about books because, like, I read this about 2 years back, and then I always feel like I could talk about a book like a month after I read it, and then after that I start to like lose huge chunks of details because like.
Unless it's like your favorite book ever.
Well, yeah, because then I'll read it multiple times.
Because like, I'll sit down and watch Harry Potter with my roommate or, a friend who really likes Harry Potter.
Yeah. And
they'll just fucking riddle off details and shit that wasn't in the movie. I'm like, just watch the fucking movie, damn. I don't. But then on the opposite side of that quarter, I'm like, well, what happened in the book with this part? And they'll sit there and gladly tell me exactly what happened. So you don't really remember the book Ready Player One very much?
I remember chunks of it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little bit too chunky of the key 1, key 2, key 3 setup. Where I felt like, have you ever seen Coraline?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like Coraline suffered from that same problem of where it was like, you have to fetch these 3 objects. So I thought it suffered a little bit from that, from breaking down a plot like that. But other than that, I thought it was fun. Lots of pop culture references. And then
there's certainly many of them in this.
Yeah, but I don't know what I did enjoy about the adaptation was the changing of the pop culture references because it felt like, from what I do remember of the book, they changed a lot.
Yeah. You're saying Spielberg changed a lot?
Yeah, or Zach Penn changed a lot, but I think for good reasons and in good ways.
Well, I talked to my roommate about it. He read the book.
Yeah.
And he said it was so terrible that he went to Amazon and said, "Give me my fucking money back," and they gave him his money back.
That's awesome
for a book. I didn't think you could do that, but that's awesome. I'm so glad that book was terrible for him. No, I hear that there's mixed opinions about the book. I hear it's pretty. Like, the dialogue's terrible in it.
Oh, yeah.
Just pretty. How should I? Like someone who likes this stuff but doesn't know how to like talk the lingo.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. Because like, someone can sit there and like, I love Indiana Jones and 80s movies, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, all that shit. But like. If I sat down and talked to someone about Jurassic Park, I'd be like, oh, I love the movie, I love the special effects, I love, this and that. But then, I hear the books written like, oh, you remember that time like Ian Malcolm said this and that? That was really cool. And, like, I can't even like describe it. Like, my brain's I can't like my brain can't even like communicate dialogue that bad.
Yeah.
Right? Because my roommate tried to tell me like lines of dialogue in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, wow, someone fucking wrote that down. I thought it was good. You know?
The worst part was that publisher thought it was worth publishing.
Like it's like an old man thinking shit's hip.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh. And that's like the worst. But I don't know. I didn't read the book. Mm-hmm. All I know is from what my roommate told me, because I certainly wasn't going to read a book about this.
Yeah, let alone like when it was shortly going to become a movie.
Yeah, but on the other side of the spectrum, I mean, I wouldn't read, I don't know, Dune or anything. You remember Dune?
I don't have 2 weeks to spare.
Yeah, that tome.
I've seen it on bookshelves.
Because like I hear the book's excellent, mm-hmm. but the movie's shit. Or it was too, I could go on.
Yeah.
But, so like, I heard the book was kind of mediocre, mm-hmm. so I was like, well, I just want to watch the movie then. Yeah. I don't want to read the book.
No, you made a good choice.
When you said you liked it, I mean,
I said it was okay. Like, I enjoyed it. But it's not like, it's not fantastic literature.
It's not. Well, I heard like my roommate gave me like how he wrote it. Like I'll give you like a snippet that he mm-hmm. told me. He was like, "Yeah, I was sitting here next to my," and this is paraphrasing. Like I don't know what was in the book, but like, oh, here I am sitting next to my DeLorean from Back to the Future, waiting on my bro. That he looks like Indiana Jones from the 19-something movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then that's like the sentence. Mm-hmm. Kind of like how that's like that sentence garbage, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it's littered throughout the book, mm-hmm. like that kind of language, like sentences and stuff. I don't know. But good thing we have old Steven Spielberg to like bring it in and make a pretty decent fucking movie. Mm-hmm. So we'll give our kind of little 5-minute review.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to spoil it for people that, don't want spoilers. They all die. I'm joking.
Spielberg takes a dark turn.
He took it Nolan turn or something. I don't know. So why don't you go ahead and go first on this one?
Okay.
I've been rambling over here, so you go ahead.
Well, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Well, it's just like...
Well, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
I guess it's... Maybe my standards for Spielberg were too high. Seeing him return to form with a Hollywood blockbuster. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really think it was a return to form. I feel like Spielberg kind of phoned it in. And I felt like for 2/3 of the movie, it had the same plot problems as the book of just find one key, find the next key.
So you're saying it was find 3 MacGuffins, movie ends?
Yeah. And it wasn't until the final third where it finally started deviating from that in interesting ways. Mm-hmm. Where literally the first 2/3 is just find a key, find another key, with no surprises. No real like changes from that. Mm-hmm.
It's that like how it is in the book, right? You just find 3 keys and you get the Easter egg, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
The book is even, well, I can't do comparisons without doing too many spoilers.
Well, just kind of, give your base opinion.
But no, so I thought Spielberg kind of, his visual flair just wasn't there. Like, it felt like someone else could have directed most of that movie. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of a shame, because I love Spielberg when he's on the top of his game.
Yeah.
But I felt like this was just point-and-shoot filmmaking, Like it felt like Kevin Smith at times.
Well, so you're saying like he was basically on autopilot?
Yeah, except for like a couple shots here and there, and then that final third, where I felt like it finally felt like Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
But that having to sit through the first 2/3 of the movie to get to that was excruciating. Like just tough for me.
I got you. So you give it 6 out of 10, huh?
6 out of 10.
I got you. Well,
and that's not even to mention like some of the lines that made me cringe.
Oh. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Well, overall, the movie, some people are saying like it's a really good video game movie, and I'm like, well, no, not really. It's a movie about video games, but it's not really a video game movie. Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I was about to sneeze. I'm sorry.
Man, go ahead, get your sneeze on, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I got it.
Yeah, sneeze. Don't worry. We'll be right back. But no, I felt that the story was reflective of what my roommate told me about the book. I mean, Steven Spielberg can elevate kind of crummy material to kind of a better. He can transition film pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But here, I kind of agree with you. He seemed like, because like you can tell when Spielberg wants to make a movie.
Yeah.
And then there's times where Spielberg like, oh, I need to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just didn't feel like his heart was really in the, his heart wasn't in it. It felt, I don't know, a little hollow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the video game stuff and the references were really cool. But, after you watch it once, you're like, well, there's no substance there. Like, hey, that was great. That was cool.
Yeah.
I love this and love that. And,
mm-hmm.
I like seeing him. And, oh, my God, there's, But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not really... It's not really fulfilling. I left the theater, I was like, hey, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. But...
Then you came home and you watched Pacific Rim. No.
Yeah. No,
I just don't feel like it's a movie that will be referenced.
Yeah, I mean, in the days to come, I mean, it'll come out on Blu-ray and end up in the bargain bin at one point. And that's kind of sad, because I know Spielberg can make a good movie. I've seen plenty of them. I mean, the story's thrown away. The characters are okay. But that's the thing. They're just okay.
Yeah.
The CG... At first, I was like, well, there's a lot of CG in here. And usually I don't like a lot of CG.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand things like Pacific Rim, like we saw last week.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of needs to be CG. Like, you can't do that practical this day. I mean, you could, but it looked like a Power Rangers skit under the Krispy Kreme. That's right, I brought it back. The Krispy Kreme joke.
I hope we never have an episode where we don't talk about Power Rangers.
Just bring up Krispy Kreme every episode. Welcome to the Krispy Kreme
Power Rangers Hour.
Do you need a dozen? Baker's dozen? What you need? But no, I mean, I was sitting there and I was like, I want to love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I can't give it the credit it deserves, because there's nothing particularly... there's not a lot of substance there.
No.
It's basically just, run and gun, find 3 keys, save the world. And then along the way, we'll have adventures and a bunch of fucking references. And I can't give it anything more than a 7.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give it an 8, Like I was sitting there and some things that popped up. I'm like, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, that's all they were. They were just set pieces. And there was nothing really particularly interesting beyond seeing it in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the detriment of the movie. Like it's there, and I'm seeing it on the screen, and it looks cool as shit. But that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Let me backtrack. It's not sad. It's still a good movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great movie, and it's not a movie I think people will remember from 20 years from now. It's just another blockbuster, you know. That's cool, I guess. All right, are we done? Can we do this? I mean, thanks for watching, everyone.
It's been a fun episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do what we usually do. We'll get into spoiler territory. Anthony,
turn around if you don't want to hear this.
Well, just shut it off. I mean,
and then
we really liked you here. I mean, we enjoyed listening to you.
We hope you come back after you see the movie.
If you don't want to stay, I mean, I understand. I mean, people have lives,
mm-hmm.
you know. Can't sit around and watch 2 hours of two chuckleheads talk about a fucking movie, but you know, whatever. Why don't you start us out?
Yes. Bud? So we start out in the year 2045. That's in the future. Yeah.
Are you sure? I'll have to Google that later.
Yeah, I'm not very good at math. But we follow the young kid of Wade Watts,
which is played by Ty
Sheridan.
Mm-hmm. He's an odd-looking fellow, ain't he?
He's a little odd.
He's a little odd. I mean, he's not like ugly or handsome. He's just
unique.
He's a unique-looking fellow. What did you think of him in the movie?
Oh, I've seen him done better.
Yeah. What was he in? I haven't seen him in it.
He played Cyclops in Apocalypse.
He what?
He played Cyclops in Apocalypse.
Oh, fucking shit. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and if I remember right, he was in that Matthew McConaughey movie, Mud.
I never saw Mud.
That's right. And then I remember him in The Tree of Life with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I never saw Tree of Life either. I gotta sit down and watch these maybe.
Mud, maybe. Tree of Life, though, is a movie I loved.
Yeah.
But it could go 50-50. Like,
I got you. One of those kind of split movies.
Oh, it was so split.
I got you. But yeah, we got Wade Watts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's living in a trailer park that's stacked up to the sky.
All the stacks.
So terrible. So apparently life is shit for everyone. 2045. And basically the economy, the like currency now is coins from the Oasis, which is a virtual simulation world or universe, I would say.
Yeah, it's
where you can do anything from play games to have sex to race cars to blow people up.
There's even a gambling planet.
There's even a planet.
That's a roulette table.
Yeah, a craps table. And that's cool as shit, man. I would love to be in that. I just don't like watching it too much.
But yeah, so his Oasis life isn't much better. It seems it's only slightly better.
Well, yeah, because he's broke as shit. And well, first of all, let's tell why he's even in there and the places he's at. Because usually you can do whatever you want, but old Wade here, he's one of the people that searches for the 3 keys to
get Halliday's egg.
Halliday's egg. That's it. I was thinking holiday. Is it holiday? Halliday. had me tongue tied there.
He's an aid hunter, so somehow that got abbreviated to gunter.
Gun? What?
Yeah, it's a term. It's a term from the book.
Wow, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, they say it like twice in the movie, and then they just drop it after that.
Well, good, because it's fucking awful, man.
Yeah, you didn't hear him say that?
I'm a gunter?
Yeah. Like, when he first meets Artemis, and they say it in the warehouse at one point, and then they say it another time, just one other time.
Mm.
And I was like, because in the book, they made it like such a big deal to be a gunter.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a status symbol. It's just like, it's something that people used to do.
Yeah.
And that no one really cares about anymore.
Well, Halliday, we should explain, he's the creator of the Oasis.
Mm-hmm.
And he creates the Oasis. That was redundant. But he passes away.
Mm-hmm.
And he leaves a video for everyone saying that there is an Easter egg in the game that if you find, you'll have complete control of the Oasis.
Yep. And
$500 billion. Sounds pretty damn good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, no one's ever found it. No one's even found the first key.
Nope.
And so what was it 5 years after the announcement? So people just kind of stopped looking.
Mm-hmm.
And so our old pal Wade Watts, or as it's listed on IMDb, Parzival.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad name, I guess. Like I was thinking, I was like, man, is that such a lame name? But then I was like, Parzival. Say it a couple times.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's not bad.
You remember it.
Bad. I remember that. Yeah. So Parzival here, he still searching for that egg, and it starts off pretty well, actually. Because like it really gets your feet wet with all the shit that's going to go down, and seeing the Oasis and being in there.
Yeah, I think the very beginning is just littered with, like, it just does an exposition dump.
Yeah.
Which is always wonderful. I love exposition dumps. They're just the best.
That I sense a little sarcasm.
Oh, shit. I'll lay it on thicker. I love exposition dumps. I love having 5 minutes of just tell me the whole backstory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about that is, like, he only tells the backstory of, how should I put it? Like the Oasis, right? And like his personal situation. But I'm like, what the fuck happened to the world?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are we supposed to just kind of assume that it just went to shit on its own?
He makes like 3 references to like the corn syrup drought.
Yeah.
And then
I think he only mentions it fucking once.
Well, yeah. Well, like, and then so in rapid succession, he mentions the corn syrup drought, the bandwidth wars, and something else, and I'm like, whoa, back the fuck up.
And that sounds like a more interesting fucking movie to me.
Yeah, like, why are we not watching
bandwidth wars? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Why are we not watching the decline of society?
Yeah.
After the introduction of virtual reality, like.
Yeah.
But that's just glazed over.
Well, that's okay, because, I mean, it wouldn't be, I mean, I would like to, like, understand what was going on. Well, a good way of doing that is, there's a part in the movie where there's a Hall of Records that's nothing but Holiday records, which, the programmer built so he could find clues to the keys. But, like, that would have been a cool, like, you going along and then, you kind of see different things.
Oh, yeah, see these events from Halliday's perspective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to, like, tell me what the hell happened to the world.
Yeah. You could even have, like, Ogden Morrow, Simon Pegg's character, be explaining to him, like, these are the effects of having created the Oasis. Like,
yeah.
Look at these newspaper reports. 200,000 people have died in the bandwidth war so far.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, that's the thing. Like,
but that's not a scene in the movie.
You could have done that, but I'll do what the movie did and just glaze over it.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Yes.
That's exactly what the movie did. So, oh well, I can't speak for Spielberg on this because I think it's bad writing from the book.
Yeah. Does the book even make any mention of these interesting events that I'd like to see?
Yeah. So it starts out pretty great because it starts off with like he's just kind of the expedition's how now Brian Cow.
You good?
He starts out with exposition, but we meet his friend. What's his name?
H.
H.
Mm-hmm.
Which is spelled AECH, by the way.
I guess H was already taken.
Sorry, that name's been taken. Please figure another one out.
We suggest H5912.
Yeah. No, but anyway, I thought it was just the letter H, but whatever. So it starts off pretty great actually, because what happens is there's a race.
Mm-hmm. The way to the first tee is to win an unwinnable race.
That's right. This is where I'm kind of like giggly, and just warm in my soul to see the DeLorean from Back to the Future in a movie. Besides Back to the Future, I was giddy as a schoolgirl to see it, and it looked great, and I like the DeLorean better than the character driving it, but whatever. So it starts off, there's a race, and the exposition dump is basically like, you win this race and you get the key. Pretty simple.
Yep.
And then there's another exposition dump where he's like, oh, that's Artemis. There's a girl that pulls up on Akira's bike. And then there's the monster truck that H drives, which is the Bigfoot. You know what the Bigfoot is?
No.
The Bigfoot is a famous monster truck. There's like the Gravedigger monster, or something like that. I think it's either that or something from Mad Max. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it said Bigfoot on the side of it.
Yeah. There's
so many things I was trying to spot on the screen.
Yeah.
Because I saw like Ryu, I saw the Mad Max Interceptor. What else did I see? I saw Speed Racer's car, the Batmobile, like the old 60s Batmobile. And I mean, like, I could go on and on with all the references. But so they do the race, and it's a pretty great scene. It's exciting. Spielberg really knows how to
move a camera.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why it's not a bad movie, because he understands what's the best place to put a camera to make the scene exciting. And the scene was really exciting. There was a lot of these kind of nobody cars, which are
the Sixers.
The Sixers, which is terrible. Even the name of the company, IOI, which is 101. Stop, just stop. Okay, that's a terrible name. I hated that. I was like, it's IOI. I'm like, you mean 101?
Is there a reference to something? Is 101 like binary for something?
There's binary code.
Oh,
ones and zeros.
Oh, I didn't know if like 101 meant something in binary.
I don't fucking know. Oh. I just talk into this microphone and go to work. I don't know what you want from me.
Damn it, all binary.
Yeah. So you see Artemis, which is played by Olivia Cook.
Yep.
But you don't see her. You see her avatar, which looks like a I don't know, kind of like a mermaid.
I don't know.
Thing.
Red hair.
She
I can't describe it.
She almost like this. It's not like a reptilian kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
Like her face was red, and she had this. I mean, she looked cute, for whatever reason. But I don't know. Like I couldn't tell. I mean, like I'm having a hard time kind of like comparing it to anything. It was just like a character. Whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they have the race, and Artemis is about to jump over this canyon with King Kong under it.
Yeah.
Right? After, dodging the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Wow, that was so cool. It was cool to see the DeLorean go under the T-Rexes, and he even went into hover mode and went under the truck. And
that part. I thought that was bitching.
Woo!
That was a very clever use
so giddy to see
the
it.
DeLorean.
That for me was worth the price of admission. So he stops Artemis from going over. He grabs her off her bike. King Kong crushes the bike. Apparently, it's unwinnable. No one gets past King Kong. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So they go into a big warehouse where his friend H, A-E-C-H,
yes,
is apparently a mechanic or some kind, like a digital. He does like mods and stuff. He's the guy who puts Thomas the Tank Engine and Randy Macho Savage into Skyrim. He's that guy.
Yeah.
Awesome. But apparently he can make like digital creations or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of weird how they explain it, but that's okay because the Iron Giant's in there. And he's just kind of chilling out, like split apart, still building, and he's like, "Oh well, that's a commission. I'm making that for someone." I'm like, "Wow, that won't come into the plot at all, But yeah, look.
Well, who was he making it for?
Who knows?
He just hijacked it. Was just like, I'm not gonna do this.
No, he was building it.
Yeah. Well, like I know he was building it, but like he said I do remember that now. Now that you said it, he said it was for a commission, but they never explained who it was commissioned. Who commissioned it?
I mean, he probably. They kind of make him like this kind of. He's like really known on the net, right? He's kind of popular.
Yeah.
So I guess he gets a lot of commissions, but they kind of overlap that. Because if this person's so famous, then why didn't people react to him like, when Parzival got the first key? You remember?
Yeah.
Like they were losing their shit when he came in.
But that's huge.
That is huge, but like no one. I mean, I'm saying like if he's super famous, like they didn't bring it up again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know who he commissioned for, but we all know why it's there.
Yeah,
so it's in the climax of the fucking movie.
Yeah, I just don't know why he didn't say it was it's a private project or something like that, or that's my personal project.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh goodness, I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am sleepy. Got a little bit of the yawns. This boring ass fucking movie. No, I'm joking. So, you know what? Why don't you take the reins, man? I want to hear your stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so they go to H because H can fix Artemis's bike.
The Akira bike.
The Akira bike.
Hey, it's from Akira. Did you know it was from Akira? It's from Akira. I wanted people to know because, it's in the book. It's from Akira. It's that bike from Akira. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. I was like, I thought you were trying to give me the reins.
No, I had to just jump in here and let our audience know that the bike's from Akira.
Wait, where is it from?
Akira.
Oh.
Did you know it's from Akira?
Akira?
I think Akira.
Okay.
I might have to Google it later.
Mm-hmm. Akira.
Okay, moving on.
No. So, yeah. So through their conversations, Wade realizes how to win the race, which is to drive backwards.
Well, there is something you skimmed off that I actually liked.
Oh, what was that? What did I forget?
Well, when he figures it out, he's in the Hall of Records, which is there's a butler in there.
Yeah.
That talks to him, and he strolls with them to, go down. Like pretty much all of Holliday's memories are stored in this place. So he goes to the memory, and I like seeing Holliday because he's autistic, like really autistic.
Yeah.
And the guy playing him, what was his
Mark Rylance, I think.
Who was it?
That was Mark Rylance. I don't know if I'm saying that last name right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he played like it was just kind of interesting to watch him because I don't know, he just did a really good autistic performance, and I think it was pretty cool to see that kind of stuff in a movie because he was so awkward, and weird and antisocial and stuff. And there's even a couple jokes, about it, and they're funny, and I don't know. I just really liked Holliday as a character, right? I don't know, like just seeing him, like, yeah, I like that guy.
Okay.
And he figures out from one of his memories, like, hey, why don't we just drive backwards? Just drive at full speed.
Which is, well, having Holliday in the movie like that was a great improvement with the book, where Holliday was like barely in it.
Yeah.
He set up the Easter egg, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they always talk about him like, just like, oh, Holliday really liked this movie. And that was like it.
Well, they treat him like a god, pretty much. Not like omnipotent god, but
no, but
like everybody knows him, everybody loves him.
Yes. So then Parzival, cracking the code by visiting the Hall of Records, realizes that by driving backwards, you unlock a secret route.
It's a back door into the coding, I guess.
Yeah, to allow you to bypass all of the challenges and traps on the main course.
Yeah. Well, it goes under it.
Yeah.
Like under the track completely. And Spielberg did a good job because he points the camera up and you can see all the mayhem going on up there.
Because then you realize it's one-way concrete.
Yeah. So I actually thought that was kind of cool because you told me prior to this that it wasn't a race, was it? It was like you play fucking Atari or something?
Yeah, if I remember right. I remember two of the challenges. I can't remember what the third one was. But like one challenge was where you had to play a game and like beat a score. And then the other one was where you had to reenact war games perfectly.
The Matthew Broderick war game?
Yeah. 1985 or 86.
Wow, I'm really glad Spielberg didn't do that. Because no one would know where the fuck that was.
No.
Except for like me and like two other people.
The worst part is that I'm one of them. I've seen war games.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I only watched it because I was a big Ali Sheedy fan as a teen.
I got you.
It's also why I watched Short Circuit.
I feel it.
But no, so he then beats the race, gets the tee, gets the clue to the next tee, and then the movie just drags.
Really?
Yeah, just like.
Well, what happens is, so this IOI place is this like, I guess the top dog on everything now.
Nolan, Sorrento.
Because they can do whatever the fuck they want.
I guess, yeah.
And I'll get into that because I was like, no, motherfucker, what? You can't do all this. Well, the lead bad guy in this is Sorrento, played by
Ben Mendelsohn.
Is it Mendelsohn? Yeah, Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn.
Mm-hmm.
And you know he plays a decent bad guy, I guess. I mean, it just depends on what you want out of this movie. If you want a bad guy, you're not going to get too much out of it. And then another bad guy he's like cohorting with.
Oh, Iraq as played by T.J. Miller.
God, I fucking hate T.J. Miller. I hate that fucking retard. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say retard.
Yeah.
That's a bad word.
That's a bad word.
Well, he's a fucking piece of shit, I tell you that. I just don't like the dude. Let me sidetrack you. You remember the Emoji Movie?
Yeah.
He literally tried to say in an interview that the Emoji Movie would bring people together and it's good for the political climate and all this other horse shit.
What?
Like, what?
Was he serious?
I can't even believe you got work after the Emoji Movie. The only reason you're in fucking Deadpool is because you're probably really cool with Ryan Reynolds. Motherfucker. I just despise the dude.
Wow.
I mean, if I met him and he was cool as shit, I'd probably be like, hey, you're cool. But so far, whatever, dude. I don't like you.
That's just from his acting?
Like, it's just one of those things, like, every time I hear him, I'm like, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, I did that.
You know? And he plays literally the most... I play a lot of games. Mm-hmm. He plays the character I hate.
Oh, okay.
That's the guy who knows everything about a game. Mm-hmm. And everyone else is a noob and everyone else is shit compared to him. Mm-hmm. And I hate that guy. And I hate the character. And I hate T.J. Miller. So everything about him that you're going to talk about, because I hate that son of a bitch.
Well, no, like, I feel the...
Anger.
Wow. I don't think I feel quite that same level. I feel like the same feeling towards, like, Amy Adams.
You hate Amy Adams?
I don't like Amy Adams. Like...
Really?
Yeah. There's really only, like, Arrival, the Muppet movie, maybe The Fighter, a little bit.
With Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Were they in Boston?
Yeah.
And they all talk like this, Boston?
You can go fighting people. Yeah.
Oh, Marky Mark in there.
But, no, that's about it. Every other time I've seen Amy Adams, it's just... I just want to turn the movie off. Like, and the Muppet was only because, like, she looks like a Muppet. Like,
I got you.
So, like, I don't know.
I guess it's just people we don't like.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so weird. Like,
this would have been a very interesting movie if both of those people.
Like, Liz actually hates Natalie Portman.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, she hates her?
Yeah, she's like, something about Natalie Portman just drives her up the wall.
She probably saw the prequels and was like, oh my god.
That's Natalie Portman?
Oh my god, Miss Robot Voice herself. Ugh.
Staying next to Anakin Mannequin.
Yeah. This is pod racing. I think I just brought up a lot of dark memories for people.
I hate sand.
Yeah. So that kind of attracts the attention of the IOI people.
Oh, yeah.
Sorrento. And basically, these people want to do exactly what real people want to do to video games and basically put ads on fucking everything. Mm-hmm. Because money. We have all the money, but we need more money. We need all the money.
Yep.
All the money. And, like, I can get behind, like, you know, like, that's the thing. Like, how does this thing run? This game?
I don't know.
Like, you have to be buying something, right? But, no, wait.
Maybe that's what the Bandwidth Wars were about?
Well, I remember that they said that like it's the currency now because everyone's on the Oasis.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what it was, right? Um, yeah, because I remember now. Because like there's a scene earlier where Wade Watts is in the real world and he's like living with his aunt and the shithead boyfriend, and the dude basically loses all his money because he lost a game because he had like bad gloves.
Yeah.
Which Wade like switched the gloves so he could have like good gloves. But the guy lost like the whole
rent,
like the whole mortgage
right.
or something.
The whole savings.
Yeah, on a video game. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how would this become currency today? You know? So I guess that's how it's running because it is the currency. But these people, I want to fill the screens that people are looking at with fucking ads and loot boxes and DLC and season passes and gold editions and collector's editions and all this other horse shit and microtransactions. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, that's happening in the real world. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Man, it just kind of puts you in perspective, don't it? So they want to do that because apparently the guy who created the Oasis, he basically put like ad blockers. They even said like, so you can't have ads in the Oasis. Which I'm like, how does it? Stop it, brain! You're working too much.
Yeah.
Like, why is that? How does that happen? I don't know. But so basically, they get interested after he finds that first key, and so does this this girl Artemis, and H, and there are two other characters,
Daito and Sho, I think.
Sho and Daiko. They're pretty cool. I like them. They're in the movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So then, eventually, so IROC is chasing them down on the behest of Nolan Sorrento. Then they eventually crack the code for the second key, and which is by far, I think, one of the best sequences from the movie.
Well, it's certainly so they crack the code, and so they go to this dance place, and they're basically dancing. The clue is like night.
Oh, that's when they think they've cracked the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go to the dance place, and they think like the clue is something along the lines like holidays worth regret or something. And man, I'm a little sleepy, man. This movie's putting me to sleep.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like, they kind of crack the code. They don't really do it yet. So they go to the dance club and they're dancing, and he's old Wade is just smitten by Artemis here, and who wouldn't be? She looked real good in the dress, and he does the mistake of telling her his real name and telling her I love you.
Oh.
And I was like, motherfucker, you know her for like 2 days, haven't you? Like I don't know the span of time between this, right? To me, as a viewer of the movie, it's been like a day, 2 days.
A week at the most.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? Well, she flips out on him.
Rightfully so.
And the story of, oh, my dad went to Iowa to pay off his debts, and he died in the middle of it, and I hate them, and I'm trying to get the keys to stop them from, getting the Oasis and this and that, and I'm like, oh shit, whoa, let's just calm down. But the thing is, T.J. Miller's character overhears him, and they eventually figure out that he's Wade Watts, the Sorrento guy. And this is where I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Because at one point, he murders like he has this Hemshin, this woman, who I guess like leads I don't know, like the division or something.
Yeah, she has her own division, which I'm not entirely sure it is. So,
Hannah Johnson or something?
Yeah, as Fennell Zandor, the head of IOI's operations in the physical world, as well as their indentured servitude programs.
Well, long story short, she's in charge of finding this kid, Wade Watts, and she blows up his home, which probably kills like 30 people.
Oh, more than that, because there was
probably more than that.
It was like the whole stack of trailers came tumbling down.
And I'm like, who the fuck are these people, dude? You motherfuckers are playing video games, man. You're like this conglomerate playing video games. You out here murdering people? Was that in the book?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that part was in the book.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was.
That's terrible. Because, like, I mean, are these people like the military now or something? I mean,
no, they just they do some back channel shady shit.
I'm just like I've heard corporate like espionage and stuff, but like not blowing up like entire slums. It's basically Shinra from Final Fantasy VII. Good God. You ever played Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Remember when they dropped that whole section of Midgar on people?
No.
Probably killing like thousands and thousands of people.
Oh, I haven't played it since like
snuff out the
middle school or high school. It's been a long time since I played it.
Okay, well, I don't know why that reference bothered me. References! They're
so
all
many.
over this movie.
Oh my god.
Maybe it was in there.
Buckaroo Banzai. Across the 8th convention.
Hey, you remember the 80s? The 90s? Do you remember them? This movie will make you remember them.
Oh, fantastic.
Because things happen in the past. Movies and such. We're gonna remind you.
Yes.
Oh, and video games exist too. So he blows up the trailer, and then it turns into this. So he blows up the trailer, and he gets caught by this guy who's basically working for Artemis, right? And his friends, H and Sato and them, you know, they kind of leave the movie for a minute, and then it turns into like, I can't even explain, like this resistance thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like jarred a little bit because like it went from this fun, we're in a video game, we're doing this and that, to this like we got to join it turned into like Terminator Salvation or something, you know, join the resistance and shit. And that's this is part of the movie where I'm kind of like, man, I don't like this.
Really?
It's kind of dumb.
Because that's the part of the movie where I felt like it finally kicked in.
Because, well, I mean, plot-wise, yeah. But I was like, I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Huh, okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I was like, oh. But, I mean, it works for the movie. So I'm not going to, like, be too mad at it. But I don't know. I was like, because, like, I'm still reeling from the fact that they blew all those people up. I'm like, because like it, oh, my head, my head.
You just want to skip ahead?
No, man, we're going knee deep
into blowing up the stacks.
No, not blowing up the stacks. I don't know. Shit, my mic. Hang on. I'm all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
But
no, I was sitting there, and but I will admit it did kind of start to make sense, because like I said, Spielberg can like elevate a bad source material.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, basically, what I'm saying is like when we're in the real world, it's dumb.
Yeah.
And like uninteresting to me. But then when you're in the Oasis, it's a lot of fun, and like I want to be in there. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Honestly, I think the outside of the Oasis scenes were better.
Really?
Yeah. Just for me, because once they, well, okay, so obviously I say that, but yet when I talk about the best sequence of the film being the challenge to get T number 2, because that for me was the best. That was the pinnacle of the film.
Oh yeah. Because I couldn't believe you got away with it.
I couldn't believe it either. I couldn't believe it went on for as long as it did.
Yeah.
And I mean, how well it looked in a way.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then right after that, like when they're challenging iOS or IOI in both outside the Oasis and within the Oasis, I think the outside was much more interesting to me. Because I liked Ben Mendelsohn as an actor.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I agree. I mean, I do like him as an actor. But the thing is, like, they didn't set up. How should I put it? I just didn't like anything with the IOI because it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so much didn't make sense. Because, like, I just indentured slavery is okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're indentured servants, pretty much. They have to pay off debt. I think they live there. I think there's a point where they can have people live there in their facilities, and then at one point they capture Artemis and literally throw her in one of the booths and lock her down in there. I'm like, are you the police? Are you the government?
I know.
Who are you? You're people running around in the Oasis, a video game, and you're acting like this is Soviet Russia or something. What the fuck is this?
I didn't understand how it worked either. Because in the book, they never even get into like indentured, if I remember correctly. They don't bring in indentured servitude or anything like that. It's merely like you're like the people who are in the war room.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of like that's your day job, and then if you're the one who like if IOI finds the aid in general, you get a little bit of a bonus, and if you're the one who finds the aid yourself, then you get a huge bonus.
It's like, how should I put it? So it felt like Spielberg thought that was too boring. That it would just be like a group of people trying to get a control of the Oasis for like money, like if Google or Apple was trying to do it. But he was like, okay, well, let's make them
more evil,
like this military militia of people. And I mean, like, what?
Yeah.
No.
It was weird.
It's. I'm just kind of like stunned that someone thought that was a good idea, right? I mean, if you went the route where it was just some big corporate guys, it would have been like this throwback to an old '90s movie, right? But instead, it felt like a Stephanie Meyer or one of those.
Oh, like the Hunger Games.
Like the Hunger Games, or like dystopian, like teenage romance novels, you know? Like it felt like that.
No. It did devolve into that a bit.
Right? I mean, because like these people were in slavery.
Like they were one step away from it,
Yeah.
and the one step was having another male lead.
Yeah.
Be the triangle.
Yeah.
Like if they had put that in there, I would have like flipped my table.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what it was. Everything on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, good thing there's things on the Oasis to do because the outside is like this shitty Stephanie Meyer fucking romance thing, or not a romance thing, like dystopian thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know Stephanie Meyer. I don't know if she even wrote those books. I know she did Twilight, right?
Yeah.
But didn't she write like Divergence or something?
No, she wrote The Host.
The Host?
Yeah, which is like the fucking worst version of
Body Snatchers.
Yeah, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, that's what I heard, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then oh my god, why can't I think of who wrote The Hunger Games? It's like her name starts with a K, like Kathleen or something.
Kathleen Turner?
Something like that. And then I don't know who wrote Divergent or Legion.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like, cops and military don't exist, and just this corporate giant.
Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know.
Which is stupid, because at the end of the movie, cops show up.
Yeah, and I was like, where the fuck were you when they were just slaving people away?
Yeah. Like, they say, like, it's because of debt. Like, oh, we bought up your debt, you're going to pay it off.
Yeah.
But that's not how that works.
No.
Like, you can
file a civil suit.
You can put a lien on their house or something. But you can't put them into slavery, for God's sake. I don't know. Maybe 2045 or whatever is different than us.
I bet you, like, at least 3/4 of the Senate is just former IOI employees.
I guess so. Like IG Pie or whatever it is for net neutrality.
FCC and stuff.
Fucking piece of shit. God. I hope you listen to this. Fuck.
I hope he chokes on that Reese's cup.
I hope he's pouring him a nice glass of bleach one day. He's the most hated person ever, ain't he?
Right about, yeah.
He's somewhere around, I don't know. Let's not get it. I don't want to say nothing stupid.
Yeah, but I doubt the FCC are going to listen to this.
I know, but YouTube would. They were like, well, we can't monetize that. Because you said a bad word.
Yeah.
Oh my second key.
Yeah. Let's finally get to it. The Shining sequence.
The Shining. So Holiday went on a date with a girl.
To The Shining.
Well,
that's the part that blew my mind.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me set this up because it makes sense. Because I kind of have to think, if someone's just listening to us, they'll be like, so they just went into The Shining, right? So in the movie, Holiday goes on a date with a girl that eventually marries his friend.
Yeah.
Who was the co-founder of the Oasis.
The Wozniak to his jobs.
Yeah. And so they go on a date before they were married. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't go so well. He's really awkward. And she was like, I want to go dancing. Mm-hmm. So they sit at home and watch The Shining. That's a good date, I tell you.
Yeah.
And sarcasm.
I was thinking that, like, how the F does that happen? Because, like, because A is like, was it 2.5 hours?
It's like a 3-hour long movie, dude.
And it's a slow burn.
Oh, yeah.
Of a film. And I was like, how do you convince a woman, like, that's a good date movie? And, like, the only reason I could think of was because it had just come out. So they were like, let's go see it for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And then I'm also...
No, he sat at home and watched the VHS.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, if you deconstruct, like, timeline-wise, like, he was a kid in the 80s. So he's not going on dates when he's, like, creating the Oasis.
That's true. So he went on a date when he was grown up making the Oasis.
Yeah, but, like... which obviously did not occur in the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
well, I feel that, I mean, that's where the autism comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because you can clearly tell.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that the woman went along with it.
Well, she'd probably be nice.
It's very nice. It's a very polite lady.
Well, apparently that really kind of stuck home with him because he only mentions her once in all the records.
Yep.
Of Holiday's mind. So they figure out that the second key is in The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy, this is where that PG-13 come in, don't it?
Pushed that to the limit.
Pushed it to the limit, man. They got everything in this month. They got the blood coming through.
The elevator.
They got the old woman in the shower.
The twins.
It was one rating from the fucking bears sucking on the dude's dick, man. I'm telling you. I was pleased as punch.
Yeah.
It was too bad. It would have been fucking epic if they could get Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I know.
But
or even like Shelley Duvall.
Huh?
Shelley Duvall, who plays the woman.
I don't know if she would even do it.
Yeah, from what I heard, she didn't have fun on set.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is, Kubrick kept her like on edge through the whole thing to like get her reactions. I think even this famous scene where the axe is coming through the door was unscripted. Or like she did. Oh wait, it was scripted, but like she didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So like it was a genuine reaction.
Well, that works.
I mean, I don't know. I would have to sit down and watch. There was a documentary about it. Not that documentary.
No. Not Room 237?
No, not that one. But there was another one that was like how they, stuff about it. Let me. Room 237. Oh my God.
But, no. So I love the Shining sequence.
Like, seeing that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, now you're on your game. This is interesting stuff. Okay, just keep this going. Keep this going. I mean, it doesn't, but
no.
I was glad to see it. I mean, it was really great because it does, like, H goes into the room with the old woman.
Yeah.
The woman in the bathtub. And they do that scene, like, the whole thing. And then, like, instead of having the old woman, like, naked and you can see it, they kind of decayed her and made her like this mummy skeleton, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
PG-13. And then, like, it's just this, there's just this, like, CG nightmare of The Shining. And I'm like, that's fantastic. This is great. This is excellent. I love this. And,
I loved it too.
No, I was like, you look like you said, you look like you had something to say.
Oh, no.
And then they figure out that Holiday, one of his regrets was like he never asked the girl he loved to dance. Oh, that part was kind of meh for me because like the scene set up like it's a bunch of the ghosts from the hotel flying in the air and they're all zombified and stuff. I thought it would have been better if they were all just normal people. And she's just, going through dancing like in the hotel, and then you see the bartender and everything. But that part kind of like felt like, it's a blockbuster movie, so let's make it visually more interesting.
Yeah.
Have them floating around and shit. And I mean, it was a great sequence. That was the only part I didn't like. I was like, I think you could have had a nice subtle, because, I mean, everything was great about it because it had like the the maze in the back.
Mm-hmm.
It had the doors, the two little girls, the old woman. It even had the picture of when Jack was in front of all those people in the photograph.
Yeah.
But it was holiday,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was great. And yeah, that whole sequence was fantastic, and I wish there was more of that. But oh well. And then let's see. So you get the second key, and that's when 101 captures Artemis, isn't it? Like after the second key, they're like, okay, we better do something about it.
Yeah, because I think it was right after that.
Yeah.
But they storm it, tell her they've bought her debt.
Yeah.
And then
throw her into servitude, which is, I'd be like, no, I'm just gonna sit here. Fuck you. You can't. I know my rights.
But yeah, and then God, I can't remember all that happens in the third act.
It's kind of a blur.
It is
because the third act is a lot of spectacle, no substance. Let's see. Oh man, I'm tripping right now.
Yeah,
so she gets the second key. They get the second key, and then so that's when the 101 finds them again, the Resistance, and they get separated. Artemis is captured, and then the Scooby Gang shows up.
Yes.
Which is Sato, H, and Sho. All fucking Sho.
Because they all live in the same city.
They all live in the same city.
That blew me away.
This infinite world.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5 of them live in the same city. Wow, that's a small world, ain't it?
It is. It's pretty high on the coincidence.
Unless, I mean, like, I can't even, there's nothing I could say to explain it. That all these people that have been friends that have never met each other are all living in the same city. Which, there could be, like...
it's like the Oasis server that they're on?
Yeah.
Or the Columbus server?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. It's dumb either way. But they all get together, and that's cool. We find out H is a woman, is a chick. Maybe. She's like 30, ain't she?
Yeah.
She was like a 30-year-old woman. And then Sho was like an 11-year-old. And then...
Data was like, 15, 16.
Yeah, he was, So, he was about the age of old Wade, wasn't he?
Oh. I don't know. But,
it doesn't matter. Yeah. So they're all packed up in this van, and they're going after the third key. Wait,
I was just curious. Ty Sheridan is...
We're right in the middle of fucking podcast.
I know. Well, Ty Sheridan is 21 years old. The guy who played Dato is 27.
Oh, okay.
He's actually older. I was just curious.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about Asian people? They look very young up to a certain point.
Oh,
and then they just plummeted into age.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you'll see like a 45-year-old woman just look beautiful, just like 21, 25.
Yeah, but once they turn like 60, it's like
60. They become like this.
The grandma
like
from
a hobbit,
Mulan.
and just like shrink, and I mean that's the jokes we got tonight, ladies and gentlemen. God, we're gonna get flagged.
Oh my god!
For that Asian joke. I'm sorry.
No, so they meet up with Daito and Sho and H. Parzival does.
Yeah.
And then they mount their resistance on the ice planet.
I mean, there's like this is the problem. Like we saw this movie yesterday, and already like snippets of it are leaving my brain. And that's not good.
No.
Let's just kind of maybe not wrap it up, but let's get to the third key.
Okay.
So after Artemis is captured and the resistance has shown up and the crew's together, they basically hack Sorrento's rig that he has so he can do the Oasis stuff. The thing is, like, he left his password on his chair, and early in the movie, Sorrento tried to recruit Wade.
Yeah.
Hang on, my microphone just went to shit. Oh my god, how embarrassing.
Yes. That's why the third episode will be the final episode.
Yeah, this is it. We're done. It was a good run, ladies and gentlemen. No, but like early in the movie, he tries to recruit them, and that's when he blows up their house. And he remembers that long ass password. I would have never remembered that.
Well, it's Bossman 69.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bossman 69?
Just where the 5s are, or just where the S's are 5s, and then.
Well, we actually forgot that scene because it has the cringiest fucking line I've ever seen in a movie.
For the recruitment scene?
Yeah, where he's trying to recruit him. Let me set this up for you. So, you won't come and join us? I'd like things. You know, you'll help us. You'll make millions of dollars. Blah 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 blah.
Well, sir. I'm a fanboy, and I know a hater. Oh.
Holy shit! I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
It was so terrible.
It was so bad.
I haven't cringed in the theater so hard in so long.
Oh.
And since Krispy Kreme. I tell you what, that's about where I was like, man, this movie better fucking pick up, dude. But let's just fast forward all the way to the back. So Artemis is captured. Wade figures out the third clue. It's an Atari game, which I would assume in the book it was like, in a room, and you just got to play Atari, right?
I can't even remember, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Atari game was the first level.
Yeah.
It was the first key.
So I guess they just made that the third level.
Yeah, and it was a different game.
But it's not just in a room. It's in a giant evil castle. Ooh.
Which I didn't understand that, because like, why wouldn't you make it the Fortress of Solitude?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it looks like someone like had described the Fortress of Solitude to someone else, and then that's what they made.
I don't know. That would have been cool though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about The Shining again. There is a funny part where they're like, Sorrento comes out to his, like, the guy overseeing people. Yeah. He's like, how are they coming on the second key? And he's like, sir, they're on the Shining key or something. And you look down and there's all these people just screaming in like terror. And I got a good chuckle at that.
That was a really good joke.
Because, like, you can only imagine what the hell's going on. So,
yeah,
man, this movie is just, man, I just can't even, like, bring myself to continue talking about this movie.
I know. So Parzival recruits everyone else in the Oasis because Sorrento has sealed off the fortress.
Yeah.
To the last T.
With T.J. Miller's help.
I-Rock character.
I-Rock. Fuck you.
So he sealed it off, so only him and the Sitzers are inside of it. As well as the indentured slaves.
Yes.
So Parzival...
we're not joking about that, by the way.
Yeah.
They're literally slaves. So, go on.
So the So Parzival sends out a message to all of the Oasis, which I guess he can do because he's a celebrity. Like, how can someone just get access to the broadcasting network? Like,
I'm wondering because early in the movie he finds a key and he gets all that money.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if he bought something.
Like a universal broadcast.
Like he bought like something he could like broadcast to the world.
It was a magic 8-ball. I saw that.
Yeah, it was like some 8-ball or something.
But he sends out a message, a rallying
cry. A very like it was supposed to be like heroic.
Yeah, but it just felt sad and cringy.
I'm like, just come on, get on.
Are you ready to zero out to save the Oasis? And I was like,
God. Got a cold chill. I mean, don't get me wrong. First seeing stuff like that, it was cool. It was fun. But like, you think about it, like you sit there and just kind of let it marinate, and you're just like, man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
You know. So he calls out the Oasis.
And then, so basically, every pop culture reference from
imaginable
now to the 70s,
pretty much,
shows up.
Hey, like
why
Halo?
would this movie be original?
You like Overwatch?
I do.
You like Back to the Future?
I do.
You like Iron Giant?
I do.
You like Chucky?
I guess.
You like Michael Myers?
Never seen Halloween.
You like Godzilla?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll like this movie then.
Oh, cool.
That was cool though. Like, so this is like a super. I don't want to spoil this part, but I mean we're knee deep.
Yeah.
So there's a point where the Sorrento has a Mecha Godzilla, but it doesn't. It looks like Mecha Godzilla, but it doesn't feel like Mecha Godzilla. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it looked like a Transformers
version of
Mechagodzilla. Because like it moved correctly, and like the only Mechagodzilla we've ever seen is like the stiff, guy in a suit Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
I figured me personally, I would have loved to have seen that more instead of the because like he can swing his tail and he's like grabbing people and doing all this cool shit. And it looked cool, but I would have loved to just see, like, the silver, like, it's black, isn't it? Like a black, red Mechagodzilla?
I think so. Oh, in the movie?
Yeah. Because Mechagodzilla is like a silver. He's like a silver thing. And I would have loved to have seen that more. But it was still pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was still pretty great. But then, your boy...
Saito turns into Gundam.
Oh shit! It was pretty red.
That shit was bitchin'.
It was pretty bitchin'.
Oh my god! It just made me want to see a live action Gundam movie.
I mean, it can be done nowadays if done correctly. If Del Toro can make Pacific Rim, someone can make a fucking Gundam movie. But would they bring the themes of Gundam into it? Because the themes of Gundam isn't the Gundams. It's the story and horrors of war. Plaguing societies and, people's lives, which is pretty dark for a big robot action movie, So, I don't know. But that was pretty cool, and the Iron Giant shows up, your boy H, or excuse me, your girl H.
The lady
H.
H.
I apologize about that. She's the Iron Giant. She uses the commission that she was doing. And it's a big brawl.
Yeah, it's a free
But you do get your PG-13 in with the only fuck in the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's fucking Chucky.
It's fucking Chucky.
So... I think it was H who threw it to him. Like they throw him.
Yeah,
because Chucky's like an item, like an ancient artifact that they find in the game.
Parzival is out of ammo.
Yeah,
and then H from the Iron Giant throws Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky.
And he's like, use this, and he's like, what?
And man, he's going ape shit, man. He kills like 40 people or something, and like he throw him and he's coming at this dude, and then the real world, he's like, "Oh my god, it's fucking Chucky!" And I got a good laugh out of that. I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot this was PG-13." And man, it earns that PG. Man, they say shit and ass and
they push it.
They push it, man.
But no, so then eventually Wade makes it through the barrier.
Yeah.
Because Artemis on the inside takes it down.
And then he uses his Zemeckis cube.
No. He used that at the dance floor.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Shit.
He uses the holy hand grenade here, and I didn't understand why he didn't count to 3 before he tossed it.
Why?
Because you're supposed to count to 3.
The holy hand grenade. What is it from?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Son of a bitch, isn't it?
I kept wanting to say Life of Brian, and I'm like, that's not it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
1 does not count to 2. 1 does not count to 4. Or 5. 3 is the number you count to. So.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed when he didn't go 1, 2, 3.
Like, I mean, that was kind of the staple of the item. And then, well, I want to go back to the dance scene. They use a Zemeckis cube, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what it does is it turns back time 60 seconds? Which is pretty rad. Because, you know, Zemeckis.
Back to the Future.
Why is it a Rubik's Cube, though?
Just his 80s. And like
I want it to be like something from like a movie. Like, I don't know what it would be. But like, oh my god, no, that'd be stupid. I was like, I'm trying to think of like what iconic
small trinket.
Motherfucker, it'd be the almanac.
Oh my god.
You throw the fucking almanac and the pages open and like this light comes out and then it turns back time.
Oh my god, that would have been tight.
That would have been fucking rad, bro.
Oh my god. The Zemeckis Almanac.
Yeah, the Zemeckis Almanac. Oh my god. I'm doing better than you, Steven. I know you got Oscars, but come on.
This is low-hanging fruit.
That would be so good, though.
No, so then we have... so now we have Wade sneaking onto the base.
Sneaking? He obliterated everyone, didn't he?
Yeah, with that holy hand grenade. And of course, he's the only one who figures out that the point isn't to beat the game for the third level.
It's Adventure, the Atari 2600 game.
Oh, yeah. So he realizes that it's not to beat the game, but instead to find the Easter egg within the game.
Which, I mean, it is true. It is the first Easter egg. Which is just the programmer's name or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really know that. I mean, I probably heard it from like the Video Game Nerd.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
No.
He's a YouTube guy. He's been doing it since like the start of fucking YouTube.
Oh.
I've been with him since like 2008 or something like that. Check him out. He's super good.
Okay.
He's real foul mouth though. I don't know if you like that or not.
But no, so then then it comes down to a fight, scuffle between him, Sorrento, and IROC.
Yeah.
Of trying to get his chance to play the game.
Well, wait a minute. I think IROC was out of it. I think it was just Sorrento because...
Sorrento pulled out the catalyst.
Okay, so the catalyst was this item in the movie earlier that just blows up everything.
Yep.
Zeroes out everyone in like a what?
On the planet.
On the planet they're on?
Whatever planet you're on, it just zeroes everyone out.
Yeah. Which, the thing is, like, they asked the question, like, why would anybody have that? And I'm kind of like, yeah, why would anybody buy that? Like, unless you're, like, some super rich overlord, I guess. I don't know. Well, long story short, he basically uses it.
Yeah.
After the little fight scene, obliterates everybody. I mean, just everybody. Even TJ, because fuck that guy.
That good old TJ Miller.
Well, the thing is, like, He even said, he was like, I got like 10 years worth of shit, right? But and like he explodes, and then like just all this gold and shit, like just everywhere. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. And basically Wade gets oh well, I forgot.
Yeah.
So he, back when he was looking for the clue to the second key, he basically makes a bet with the guy or the robot that's
runs the Hall of Records.
Runs the Hall of Records, and he wins the bet. He's like, bet that she's only mentioned one time in the records, and he looks it up, and yeah, you're right, and he flips him a quarter.
Yeah,
it's just a quarter, right? Well, no, it's not a quarter. It's an extra life.
Get it? It's a video game reference. I don't know if you knew that. Because sometimes in video games, you could get an extra life.
Well, see, millennials, back in the day, video games had lives. And if you didn't have a life, the game was over.
Oh.
No restarts. You had to start over from the beginning. I don't know if you all knew that. I just wanted to let you know.
News to me.
So he gets an extra life, and then he goes on his spiel about. Oh, well, we should probably mention that, like, outside all this shit's happening, IOI is trying to run them off the fucking road in their van.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all hooked up in the van, and they're just slamming into each other and trying to kill them.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Good God.
They're crazy obsessed.
The thing is, like, if it was like this underground thing of bad guys that were trying to control things, but they're not. Like, they have, like, huge skyscrapers and buildings. It's like an established company. And it was just bizarre. But anyway, they try and kill him. They don't succeed. Well, they all succeed. Everyone dies. The Oasis is deleted. Everyone dies.
Wah, wah.
Oh, man, what an ending that would be.
Game over.
Like, everyone connected to the Oasis, like, dies from, like, neuro... Like,
overload or something,
and everybody just dies, except for like 10 people.
Who were like,
then, like, in the sequel,
I was trying to get the Oasis. I haven't gone around to it
yet. Yeah. So he figures out in the Atari game, you gotta find the Easter egg. Finds the Easter egg. The key shows up.
Uses the key.
Opens the door. And then I kind of like this part.
Yeah.
Because he goes into, like, the bedroom of Holiday back in the 80s.
Oh, well, you skip the part where he goes into the treasure room and he becomes Willy Wonka.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Where Holiday, as his avatar, interact the Almighty. He's like, here's the paperwork you have to sign. And he goes, I don't want this.
But he's like, I don't want control of everything and this and that, and basically thinking like Holiday did, back in the day. And he's like, well, this is a test.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, he was like, I just want to make sure. And then it like turns into his room from the 80s. And it's just Holiday. He's just talking. He's being all awkward and shit. And I kind of got chuckled. Because he's like, well, this button over here, you have control over it. It deletes everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing in the Oasis is deleted by that one button right there. And, like, they're slamming into the truck.
Yeah.
And, like, he stumbles and he almost the fucking button. And I was like, oh, don't go do that. You don't want to delete the Oasis your first day. I mean...
that had
I got a good chuckle at it.
Had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. So basically they end up back in the stacks. And I think Wade like called them everyone.
Yeah, just like I think right before he started playing the Atari game, I think he sent out a message for anyone who was in Columbus in the stacks.
Yeah.
To be on alert or something.
Be on alert and come help us.
Yeah.
So everyone's there. You know, they protect him
Mm-hmm.
while he gets the egg. And you know, it was a really sweet scene. It was a very Spielbergian scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Holiday, I keep saying, is it Holiday?
I think it's like Halliday.
Halliday?
Yeah.
Okay, Halliday. He keeps, you know, the character. I just liked him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, man, I play games with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, he's on this spiel about he couldn't make friends and this and that, and it turns out his biggest regret was losing his friend,
Mm-hmm.
which was played by
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, which was cool to see him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fucking Nick Frost in too.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, okay.
That's what they've been up to.
Yeah. So he gets the egg,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an all-inspiring moment. Really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And basically, this is where Sorrento, he like goes after him himself because
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a gun to this kid's face.
Yeah.
And he gets the egg, and he has it, and then he just kind of stands down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the cops show up.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck were you when this place went down, dude?
Yeah.
You fucks. I mean,
Well,
come on.
Where were they years ago when they started indentured servitude?
Yeah. What the fuck? But anyway, it ends, and then it's revealed Simon Pegg was the butler or the clerk
at the records room.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was with them the whole time, looking for clues and shit. And it ends. Pretty well, I guess. I mean, it ends. He has control of the Oasis, and he splits it up between all his friends there, including his little girlfriend Artemis, which they're apparently madly in love after a week.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. And then it just kind of ends with him narrating shit again.
Yeah, because I need more of that.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked about the narration was that they revealed he closes the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
I like that.
I did too. Like, they wrap it up with a sweet ending where he's making out with his new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was kind of the love story part I kind of liked in the movie. Even though, well, I mean, they're hinting, like, I think in the book she's not like a supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
She's just kind of a normal woman, and here she's like supermodel with a birthmark. Ooh, big deal. But it wraps up, and I enjoyed the movie. I can't. We've been talking so long about it. I can't remember the rating again. But it's a 7 in my book. It's a good 7 though.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend it in theaters or check it out on Netflix or rent.
Yeah,
wherever you rent movies.
I think it's got moments that make it worth going to a theater for, but I don't know. It's a DVD movie for me.
Is it?
More of a streaming movie. I don't think I'll buy it.
Well, I wouldn't pay full price in theater. Matinee. You got an afternoon to do something.
That's true.
Check it out. Yeah. So that's. I guess we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
That is our review. Ready Player One. Pretty good movie. Mm-hmm. Not the best, but we appreciate you coming and listening to us talk a bunch of nonsense, acting like we know what we're doing.
Oh yeah.
Pro tip:
I don't.
We don't.
No,
we don't
not
know
at all.
what's going on. I barely know where I'm at. So we thank you for listening. If you like it, hit that like button. Just smash it.
Oh,
just
destroy it.
Smash that like button. And if you want to hear more of us, give us a subscribe. And if you think we're utter garbage, leave us a comment down there. We appreciate you, and y'all have a good one. All right.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Next time.